Today, we're going to talk about Captain America's real superpower. Captain America. We know that he's a super soldier, right? Incredible kicks, powerful punches, killer 40-yard dash time, not to mention, but I think that his actual superpower, the one that's the most useful over all of them, is communication. I'm gonna break down the small teaser trailer that just came out for Avengers Endgame. I'm gonna put a link to the video right here. And in this, it's a 30-second clip. Captain America is giving a pep talk, something that he does extremely well, and he does it in dire times. So I'm gonna break this trailer down line by line and analyze why it was effective. As a PSA, I am a gigantic Captain America fan. Also going to illustrate that by this montage of pictures. Very nice. So in the trailer, the first line we hear is,
you know your teams, you know your missions.
Why choose these words? Well, this is to get the basics out the way, right? So you know your team, which prompts them to remember who's on their team. Okay, I have Rocket, or I have Nebula, or whoever's on the teams, they're doing a mental review, right? Further solidifying who they're supposed to be working with. Also, when he says, you know your missions, right? So more than one mission. So it looks like they're gonna split up. So in this moment, they're going to review the mission in their head to themselves. Again, further solidifying what their mission is and making sure that they understand. Also, this is a great opportunity if somebody didn't know either of those things or had questions about those things, they could potentially bring that up in that moment.
No mistakes, no do-overs.
Now, this is a really, really important line because in the MCU, we've seen that people can be resurrected, people can come back, very similar to the comic books. But Captain America wants to make sure that they understand, like Thanos said in the last Avengers,
no resurrections this time.
So he wants to make sure that they understand that they got one shot at this. No mistakes. That's the next part of the line. This is to make sure that they understand what the stakes are. This is the beginning of Captain America conveying how high the stakes are, right? And they are going to take his word very, very seriously because Captain America is one of the most skilled tacticians in the Marvel Universe, right? We've seen that demonstrated in past movies. I'll play a clip now.
You need men in these buildings. There are people inside and they're gonna be running right into the line of fire. You take them through the basement or through the subway. You keep them off the streets. I need a perimeter as far back as 39.
This also speaks a lot because Captain America is usually very understanding and very patient with the people around him, right? Even when they're arguing with him.
You're a laboratory experiment, Rogers.
Or fighting against him. He shows patience and understanding. But in this moment, there's no room for that. He has to convey the fact that there can be no mistakes. That this has to be a perfectly played game and a perfectly executed plan. There are going to be things that are going to be unexpected and they're not going to see it coming, but they have to make sure everything counts. No do-overs. This is another instance of Captain America driving this point home. So he's driving the fact that there can be no mistakes and there are no mulligans. He's driving this home, making sure they understand that the stakes could not be higher. It's also very effective because instead of using any other phrase, he used one of the shortest phrases that you can use to describe that. Very simple language, right? That's what you would say if you were 7 years old playing a game with your friends. No do-overs, right? And he's using this simple language because it's most effective. These people that he's talking to have a lot going on in their minds. They're under tremendous amounts of stress. They have so many unknowns that they're thinking about that it's important for him to get this message across in a concise and very understandable way. They've had second chances in the past, sometimes third chances, but he wants to make sure that they understand that's not the case. They have one shot. That's it. Now the next line, look out for each other. That is such a great statement and such a great use of that statement in a time where the fate of humanity lies in their hands. He's using a phrase that you would hear from a parent to their children, right? Look, why don't you look out for each other? In this time of overwhelming stakes, he brings it right back down to earth, making it very personal. I believe he's doing this because at this point, they're family. They've been through the thickest of the thick and the thinnest of the thin. They've fought each other, they've fought others, they've been through the gambit. And now, this is their moment. You guys gotta look after each other. In the last line,
This is the fight of our lives.
now I've heard that said in movies before, but for some reason in this movie, it really carries the most weight. Because it's very true. And not only the fight of their lives, but the fight for all the lives. Again, driving home how important this one moment is. He's making sure that the others understand the gravity of the situation. They've all been in countless fights in their lives. And for them to consider this fight the fight of their lives, it's a massive statement. He also wants to make this personal for them. This is the fight of our lives. So your life, this is your moment. This is what you've been training for. This is what you went through all of that other stuff to get to. You're prepared. This is the fight of our lives. And it also sheds light on the fact that they could not make it out of this, which is an understanding that I feel like they should have already, having been through all this stuff together. But just to make sure, Cap says it again, and he drives that point home. So we can see that Captain America is usually the leader for a reason. He has a very special ability to get his point across in a way that inspires others. A skill that has proven to be his most effective and useful. So, if you're looking to become a better communicator in life, I have a few reading suggestions for you. The first book is called 5 Stars: The Communication Secrets to Get from Good to Great by Carmine Gallo. I've read this book. This book is fantastic, has tons of insights and actual examples from industry leaders in multiple industries on how effective communication has been used as a tool to change the world around them. Very powerful information. The next book is by Kerry Patterson and Joseph Grenny. This book is a wonderful guide on how to have difficult conversations. Get your point across in a magnanimous way that doesn't offend people, that finds common ground. It's just a wonderful tool to add to your arsenal. And the next book, You've Got 8 Seconds by Paul Hellman. Now this book is a really great case study of short attention spans in current society. Because everyone's attention spans are now the size of a gnat, down to 8 seconds, one of the things he says is that you need to focus on your message, be slightly different, and deliver with finesse. So I hope these books somehow make it into your hands or on your iPad or phone because they are indispensable tools in getting to be a better communicator. I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a little something, and hopefully it'll make you look at Captain America in a little bit different of a way, or maybe just notice when he does these certain things. If you have a character or a clip that you'd like me to break down, just let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, smash the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you know when my next video is coming out, and I look forward to seeing you in the comment section below.